Side by side and a little test here with the new Makita Brushless wet dry vac with dust extraction and HEPA filter versus the old Milwaukee. All right. Now I shouldn't say this is the old style Milwaukee, but same exact CFM, same exact wet dry vac as the newer. We'll call it Gen 2. Really, the only thing is different is that the hose is inside here. That's really the only difference between this and the new wet dry vac. All right, so as you can see, there's obviously a size difference between the two. Both 2 gallon. All right, guys. So definitely the more compact wet dry vac is the Makita here. You hear me talk about this. I probably have 2 or 3 videos on it. Now, not as powerful as the Rigid. And a lot of you guys may not know, but Rigid also has a wet dry vac. The Rigid, definitely more power than this Milwaukee. But I like this one a little bit better. All right. Now, if I need more power, I would go with the Rigid. But I like the style of this box. Like I said, you see me. I have a video cutting wood on it. You can stand on it. I was standing on it, to kind of like a little step ladder type of thing. It's just very versatile, this design. This one, obviously, you're not going to be able to do as much with, but, you're not really using this to cut wood. But, like I said, in a worst case scenario, you can use this kind of for other things. I mean, if you weigh 300 pounds, you probably ain't going to want to stand on this, but you guys know what I'm talking about. But, the big difference, guys, is there's 2 major differences. All right. Runtime. This can go 60 minutes, all right, with a 5 amp hour battery. We tested this with a 9 amp hour battery, very close to 30 minutes. All right. I think it was like 29 minutes with a 9 amp hour battery. You can obviously put a 12 in here and probably get, 45 minutes or so. See, and that's why you always hear me talk about Makita. They got to get some bigger batteries out. Now, obviously, they have a 6 amp hour. So, you could probably get over 60 minutes. Now, with 60 minutes with this Makita here, and this is the other difference too, you have a 2 setting. You have a low setting and a max setting. All right? Obviously, you just turn it low, high, real simple. So when they say 60 minutes, it's on that low setting. So we're going to test this on its high setting and see what you get. Now, again, this has a brushless motor in it. So you're going to get a little bit better runtime with this if both, batteries are the same. But Milwaukee has a 12 amp hour, has a 9 amp hour. They got an 8 amp hour high output coming out. We're still at that 6 amp hour with the Makita. And, the Makita, it's hard to find those 6 amp hour batteries too. So that's the big thing. All right, so again, a little bit more compact. You got speeds on it. You got a reading on here where you can see how much battery life you have. Fuel gauge or battery gauge indicator. That's awesome. The thing with the Milwaukee is it's an old vac. This is probably 5-6 years old. This just came out a month ago. So if you hear me talk, you watch my Home Depot live videos, you always hear me say they're going to come out with a new one. I don't know if it's going to be this summer. I kind of have a feeling because we know we were at Home Depot. These are on sale now for 89 bucks. Whenever they start lowering the prices of this stuff, there's a good chance they're going to be coming out with something new. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have a new brushless wet dry vac at some point this year, next year. But yeah, and the big thing, if you watch my Rigid video when I did a comparison with this and the Rigid, is the big downfall, and I think that's kind of where the power difference, I wouldn't say the power difference, but the suction and speed difference is with the hoses. You see, I don't think the Rigid is this big as the Makita here, and this is huge. And remember, you can do dust extraction with this. I mean, you could do it with the Milwaukee. I don't know if this is going to fit on there, but much bigger opening. So, and the thing with this too, being such a small opening, it has a lot of power. Very loud too, the Milwaukee. The rigid is even louder than this one, but you know, you're going to get that. You want more power, you're going to have more noise. But sometimes things get clogged in here. I've had a lot of incidences where this has, you know, clogged up on me, this Milwaukee. But in general, I've beaten this thing up, man. This thing's, like I said, 4 years old. It's busted a little bit. The switch don't work. You guys who follow me know about that. And what's cool with this too, with the Milwaukee, this does not fit the 12 amp hour battery. Now, if I was to take this piece out right here, see, this old style vac does the NiCad and it does, you know, the lithium ion battery. So if I was to remove this piece here, you'd be able to get the 12 in. But what you can do is they will make this compatible for a 12 amp hour battery. So you go on Milwaukee.com, you fill out an order sheet, and they will send you a shipping label. And I guess what they do is they take this piece out, from what I would think. I have no idea. I haven't done it. I don't really care to do it. But I've beaten this thing up, and this thing's been an awesome vac, besides the problem here with the switch. But that being said, and we're going to do a little test here. This is the best vac on the market right now, this Makita, no doubt. Definitely more power from what I've seen. It has a great design. Obviously, you got 2 speed settings. And it's really not that expensive. I believe it's $169 with the strap. All right, I got it without the strap, but I guess it comes with a strap also. You know, I like the design of it. I like where they have the attachments. Very nice on here. Very simple. I kind of did a vid on this, but I'll show you real quick. Right here's where you put the battery. Don't know if they come out with a bigger battery that you're going to have a problem closing this. I don't think you will, but you know, it matters the size of the battery. You know, we got to think at some point Makita is going to come out with a bigger battery. You know, you got Ryobi, you got Rigid, you know, Bosch, Hitachi. They all have 9, 8, 12 amp hour batteries. So hopefully Makita will get on their game there. But like I said, I like the attachments. It's awesome. It's just a really nice accessory holder here. Real simple to use. Put them back in. The Milwaukee's kind of a pain in the neck with this lid, but everything's like out of the way. So either you like it or you don't like it, you know. But all right, so we're gonna do a little test. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna take the filter out of this real quick, and we're gonna do a little test. Be back 1 second. All right, so we're gonna do a little test here. Nothing big. Just gonna suck up probably around a gallon of water. We're gonna see who's quicker, and make sure you take the filters out of both of these. You don't know how many comments I get where people forget to take the filters out when they use it to use it on liquid water or whatever. Make sure the filters are out. All right, so we're going to use 5 amp hour batteries here, folks. All right, make it even. Both fully charged. There's the Makita. And here is the Milwaukee. All right, we will put the Makita battery in. And we will. Now, as soon as I put this in, it's going to start. Because you guys who follow me know I have a switch issue, but it doesn't affect the running of it. We're going to put the crevice tool on both of these. That's what we're going to use. And I'll put it here on the Makita. Alright, because once I put this in, it's going to start. Alright, let's rock and roll. worked pretty good, man. But let me tell you, the Milwaukee, man, I think the Milwaukee had it. Now the Makita has 57 CFM. The Milwaukee doesn't tell you how much CFM it has. But, you know, again, for having a smaller hole here on the hose, a smaller opening, than the Makita, it did pretty darn good. So, it was close. I think the Milwaukee had it, though. But, you know, guys, this is $89, all right? And again, you're going to have one that has the hose inside. Really the only difference. See, wait, this thing's leaking a little water. Let's see this one. No water coming out of that. Again, this is an older Milwaukee, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But, you know, this is $89, this unit. This is $169. I still think the Makita's worth the extra money. Now, that being said, you're going to be able to get this for cheaper than $169. We all know Acme Tools, CPO, companies like that. They'll have a 10% off. Actually, they have a $20 off $100 on Makita all the time. So you're probably going to only spend maybe $50 more for the Makita. Power-wise, gun to my head, I'd probably still say the Rigid is the best. These are probably about even, maybe the Milwaukee, but plenty of suction with this. Again, the big kicker why I would recommend this is the brushless motor. Of course, that's going to mean a lot more runtime with this unit. It's a little bit quieter, and of course you have the 2-speed settings. So you kind of have to ask yourself, is it worth the extra $50? Now, obviously, if you're not in Makita's platform, you're not going to go with the Makita, and if you're in Makita's platform, you're not going to go with the Milwaukee. But you got two pretty solid options. Again, a little bit more compact, the Makita, but both viable options. So, any comments, questions, let me know. We'll have other videos on the Makita. This was just kind of doing a little comparison. People have been asking me, power-wise, what's different? And of course, this is just one test here, guys. They're very similar. You know, if I put the Milwaukee against the Rigid too, you know, the Rigid's going to beat it by a fraction. They're all pretty much, you know, the same. 5-year warranty with the Milwaukee, 3-year warranty with the Makita. So, comments, questions, let me know. We'll catch you on the next one.